All right. So, one of the things that we don't talk about enough, and again, for those of you who are not in that Facebook group, if you really are looking for, curly sport, I would highly encourage you to come in there and join it. It's a really pretty solid group, and we moderate it as best as we can. But one of the things that comes up a lot, that we don't address enough is products, and there's a reason that we don't, but at the same time, sometimes it gets kind of to, I want to call it a boiling point, where it turns into a lot of misinformation being spread, and that's exactly why we started the group in the first place, was because we saw so much misinformation from non-professionals going on in all these other gigantic curly hair Facebook groups, 100 and 200,000 people, and people trying to start the curly girl method and getting a whole bunch of crap info. So
well, that's what we've always said. Be careful of who you listen to. There's so much information out there, but you have to see where the information is coming from. Are these technicians, people that actually practice, the skills behind the chair, working in the salon, that are professionals, that are trained, that have an actual, educational background.
Right.
So.
Right. So I'm gonna tell you this. We're gonna talk about.
And you still get a variance of opinions.
You do.
So I just want to throw that out there.
You do, and
which is good.
For those of you who. I don't know. Did I mention it in the intro that you're the
no,
founder of
you didn't. I don't even think you did the intro. I think you were all flustered.
I had a heck of a day. Melanie is the founder of the Raw Curls brand of curly and natural and organic hair products, and we do not do this show to promote that product line, but we are going to kind of talk about it without bringing up that name today, just to get into this. So I didn't, now just so you guys know, I didn't prep Melanie on this, on how I was going to set this up, other than tell her that I was going to tell one story that I know really helps to explain it. So let's kind of start from the beginning. Rhett, can you pull up a picture on the screen? For those of you who are listening on podcast, you can't see this, but I'm going to describe this to you.
Ooh, is that your car? Is that your first car that you talked about?
Yes. This is a
wow.
This is a 1970 Volkswagen Bug up on the screen that is very similar to my first car. That was $75. Very, very similar, other than the stripe. And one of the fenders was green. So, but that's literally exactly what it looked like.
Bigger, like a Chrysler. What are those?
No, Crossfire? No.
No.
It's not. It's nothing.
It looks longer.
Well, it isn't. But anyway, that's a 1970 Volkswagen Bug, and I think we can all agree that that is a car, right? And mine was $75 that I got in high school and drove it after high school and into college. And right now you could buy online, I looked, you could actually buy a car very similar to that condition right now for about $400.
Wow.
And we all agree it's a car. Now, this second picture that we're going to bring up here, we can also agree is a car. This is a 2017 Lamborghini Aventador. This car right now you can buy online for $550,000.
It's a bargain.
It's a bargain. And I will preface that, contrary to popular belief, I do not own a orange Lamborghini.
Is it orange or yellow? It looks yellow.
That's I think that one's yellow. Yeah, I do not own a yellow Lamborghini.
I don't think you would fit in there.
It's tight, but we can agree that that is also a car. Now that car right there will get you from point A to point B, and you'll look pretty good in it. And the first car, I can tell you, because I drove that Volkswagen for several years, I can tell you that it will get you from point A to point B sometimes for a while.
I'm not sure that one would get you anywhere.
Right. For a while it did. But you're not going to look real good in it. That much I can tell you. So that brings us to, you're probably thinking, Ken, how does this relate to curly hair products? And I'm going to tell you. This right here is a 39-ounce bottle of Tresemme curly hair conditioner. I bought this today. Ooh, I got that in my
You're
ears.
not supposed to
I
slam
bought-
it down
forgot
on the
that.
table.
I bought this.
And it's Tresemme anyway.
Tresemme. I always say it wrong. I bought this today. If you're on the podcast, I know you can't see it, so I'm describing it. I bought this today for $4.99. Okay? And this will condition your curly hair. This is a bottle of 12-ounce fructose curl nourish conditioner. I bought this today for $2.89
Oh my God. Where?
at Target. This is even better. This is a 28-ounce bottle of Suave Frizz Control Curl Conditioner that I bought for $2.99.
Wow.
This right here, now you're going to look, it's kind of funny, and it's because I had to make it because I didn't have one, but I had the labels, right? I had the smaller ones. This, so you got to imagine, this in my hands is a 12-ounce bottle of Diva 1 Curl Conditioner, and it's $19.25. This is a 16-ounce bottle of Raw Curls Organic Conditioner, and this bottle is $32. Okay? This and this, the Tresemme and the Diva Curl and the Raw Curls Conditioner are not the same. The fructis, the fructis and the Diva Curl and the Raw Curls are not the same. The Suave and the Diva Curl and the Raw Curls Conditioner are not the same. Thus, you are not going to get the same results in a $2.89 bottle of curl conditioner as you will from a $20 one, as you will from a $32 one. I actually wanted to bring a Weed Ad one in here, but I couldn't find. I know I had one, but I couldn't find it. And that one's like $36 or $38 for 12 ounces, I think, something like that, or 14 ounces. They're not the same. And you're not going to get the same results. Just like the car example that I showed you, it's the same thing with conditioner. So why am I bringing this up? Well, the reason is because there's lots of people that come into either our, put questions on our YouTube channel, in our Facebook group, on our Instagram, or any of our Facebook groups, curl groups, and they're new to the Curly Girl method, and they don't know what to buy, and they've got people recommending $4.99 bottles of stuff, $2.89 bottles of stuff, and they're using them, and they're not getting great results, and they can't figure out why, and they get frustrated and they quit. The reason is ingredients matter. Ingredients matter. And the ingredients in a $2.89 retail bottle of conditioner is not going to be the same as one that's $20 or one that's $30 to $40. It just isn't. Now, I'm going to give you a much better real world example, because you're probably thinking, oh, they're just saying that because they want to sell product. Well, that's not the case. I don't care if you buy anything that I sell or not. I don't care. I'm going to make this point. Before I got into this industry, I spent 16 years owning a company that had a division that sold commercially and industrial chemicals and ingredients. A lot of the stuff that you see in products like this and this and this. A lot of the same stuff. I did that for 16 or 17 years. Sold millions of dollars of it every single year. And I'm going to tell you a brief story so you get an idea, because a lot of people have this conversation about what builds up and what doesn't and why. I had a very large client that was a school district, and they bought drinking water treatment chemicals from me, as well as swimming pool chemicals from me. Lots of them, pallets, hundreds of thousands of dollars worth. And I had this client for years. Well, one year the bid came up and I lost it. And one of the ingredients that is used in every single one of these products right here was also used to balance the water in their Olympic-sized swimming pools. And I lost the bid. And I was shocked because at the time I was the biggest supplier in the Midwest of this stuff. And they were very nasty to me because I was outbid by at least 25%. And they were really upset because they believed that I had been ripping them off for a decade, right? And that was pretty much it. About 2 or 3 months goes by, and I get a call from them. And they called me up and they said, hey, we'd really like you to come out and take a look at our swimming pool water. And I said, why? And I said, well, we're having an issue, but we don't want to tell you about it. We want you to see it. And I said, well, you're not buying my stuff, right? I'm like, you're calling the wrong guy, right? And they're like, no, you're the guy we want to come out and take a look at this.
Did you up your price?
Well, I'll tell you the rest of the story. So I went out there and I walked out, and immediately as I looked as I walked up, indoor pool, big indoor pool, as I walked up to it and I looked at it, I could tell it looked dull. It looked gray. It did not have that bright, shiny sheen that it always did when I was supplying. And they said, this is what we're dealing with, and we don't know why. So I went into the back where all the equipment was, and I started to look at the filter tanks, right? And they're big and open, if I can describe them. They're big open tanks with filters in them, and the water flows through them, right? Well, I start looking in the tank, and I'm looking on the grids, and I'm looking on the bottom, and I can see all these little dark colored specks, right? So I dig my hand in and I start looking at them, and they're just like little specks, dark, but enough that you can see them. So I go over and I look at the bags of chemicals that they have, and I open this one up that I lost this bid on, and I open it up and I look at it, and sure enough, it's the same product. It's labeled the same thing that I was selling them for $14 a bag, that they got for $8 or $8.50 a bag, but you can see all these little specks in it. So I flip the thing over and I start looking at the ingredients. I'm like, okay, what the hell's going on, right? And I start looking at it and I realize that I was selling them food grade ingredients, right? Chemicals. And they were bid industrial grades. So that was the difference. And actually, yeah, because they asked me, they said, would you honor your bid price? And I said, no. I said, because I have to pre-buy the stuff in the winter. I have to buy a rail car full of it. I'm like, no. So it ended up costing them more than double to switch. Expensive lesson. It was at taxpayer expense, I never lost them after that. So that being said, the ingredients used to make this $4.99 39-ounce bottle, I can guarantee you are not the same quality that it takes to make a $32 bottle of 16-ounce stuff or 12-ounce. It's not. It's a much lesser quality because there are different grades. There's commercial grades, there's intensive grades.
Yeah, there's cheaper ingredients, there's fillers, there's all kinds of,
there's fillers,
it's just common sense. If it's going to cost that cheap, that, it's going to have a different, well, I think it's common sense.
Right.
I think
that's the key.
sense.
You think it's common sense because you know, and I do too.
Yeah.
But it's not.
Right. So,
yeah, so that's kind of it. So let me make one more point about this.
So use whatever products you want, but you're gonna, that may be why you get dissatisfying results.
That's it. Okay, is this going to condition your hair? Yeah, to a point. But remember, everybody wants to talk about how let's just say, for example, well, if I read this ingredient label and in this Tresemme for $4.99 and it's curly girl friendly because I don't see any of the sulfates. Okay, right. Well, here's the thing. Remember what I just explained to you about same exact chemical, right? But a different grade. So remember,
a different source.
A different source. You can see it in the water. Like I said, I could see it in the filter tanks. That's what's ending up on your hair. So that's why you see people that use stuff like this. Again, I'm not pushing. It's just happened to be what I had, right? High quality stuff. You see people that post pictures of themselves who use high quality stuff, and all high quality stuff, you see their hair looks great. And if you really take a good hard look at the pictures that you see online, when people list off that they're using this and this and this, again, I'm not picking on anybody. I'm just trying to make the point so people understand, the truth. You're going to see when you really take a real hard critical look, you can clearly tell they look different. the results are different. So, in other words,
Yeah, and that is
I hope
something
that
that we get a lot of comments about, and that's why it's so easy in the salon to sell our product. We don't sell it, it sells itself
sells
because
itself.
people can see actually immediate results. They see that shine in their hair. Everybody, that's like an anti-aging thing for, hair. There's antioxidants in there,
Yeah.
the quality of oils and everything that we
Everything.
use gives that sheen and that shine to your hair like you're younger. And you definitely are going to have more of a dull effect with other ingredients that are not of the same quality. And guaranteed, probably, if you run your fingernails or something against the strand of the hair, meaning like holding the hair strand down and running your fingers upward,
Yeah.
you're probably going to pull some of that white wax off of it, because we see that all the time in the sun. And we shared pictures of that somewhere.
Yeah, and even not wax, just I mean, for lack
just
of a better
looks
word,
dull.
I'll call them fillers.
Yeah.
We really in the chemical industry, we call them inert ingredients, right? But they're really like fillers.
Innards.
Inerts, right? Right. It's with a T, not a D.
Oh.
But that right. But
like,
that's that's so you talk about so and so doesn't build up, but it clearly leaves it clearly leaves something back when you use lesser quality ingredients. Here, I'll give you another thing that I'll just point out just to give you an idea. And this is and we'll stop right here, okay? Just to give you an idea. So I manufacture this stuff, right? Okay?
What's this stuff?
This is rock. Oh yeah, I got to remember. I'm a podcast, right? Got to remember. I manufacture this Raw Curls original conditioner. Okay, just to give you an idea, right? This cap, bottle, and label, just the cap, bottle, and label, period, costs me
More than that.
it cost me about $1. Right? Cost me about $1. This is $2.89 retail in a store. Okay. You guys get the
Somebody
picture?
asked that,
Get the picture, right?
I remember that was an Ask Me Anything, and actually, well, I mean, they didn't have this exact swab when I was younger, but I did use swab when I was younger. But my hair wasn't as curly, I'll tell you that. I don't know. I can think back, and it definitely
again,
wasn't as curly.
Yeah, and like I said, we're not ripping on anybody. We're just trying to make this point because it turns out to be a bone of contention. Rhett, can you pull up my Volkswagen again? Can you pull that up? All right, okay.
Well,
when I was driving this, I guarantee I was buying this. Because I get it. Trust me, I know.
We've all been there.
We've all been there. Some worse than others, some longer than others.
Yeah, and I always say it is what it is. There's people that have to go to whatever cost cut or super cuts. There is a supply and demand for that. So if that's all that you can afford and that's where you are in your life, then so be it. I mean, There's been, we have shared that before. We've been really, really broke. We both grew up without money, and and then we had lots of money, and then we lost everything.
Yeah.
So, I mean, to the point of having to shop at the farmers markets, and
when I was sick,
we stayed home and played cards because we couldn't afford to go out to a movie.
You spent everything on medical bills.
Yeah, I sold everything. I even tried to sell my wedding ring. Remember?
Yep, I sure do.
Yep. So we sold everything we owned off, pictures. I mean, for whatever we could sell. Things that people would buy, cars, anything.
Everything.
We had.
So we know. Trust me.
Yeah. So we know what it's like to be
more
broken.
than once.
We get it. So.
Yeah. So.
And I can share another similar story going into the hair industry. I can think of a client that I had. People. And again, they're, sometimes, I don't know, for whatever reason, people want to color their hair at home, whether it's because they just don't want to spend time in the salon or they don't want to spend the money, so be it. But, there's always consequences. And so I had a lady who was trying to save money and color her hair herself at home. Mm-hmm. And she messed it up because it's not always as easy as what it seems. And then you end up having to for a correction, which is what I call a kitchen correction, because people are doing their hair at home in the kitchen. And, I tell people I can fix just about anything, but it's going to take a lot of time. It's going to cost a lot of money. So, and there's no exact. So when people come in for a color correction and they want to know how much, I say, I don't know. Mm-hmm. I charge $125 an hour. I can tell you on average it's 3 to 5 hours. Mm-hmm. And so, it could be more, it could be less.
Yeah.
And this woman did it 3 times. Like, she spent so much money having me fix her hair color, and then she colored it herself again and had to come back and spend so much.
I remember this
Remember
story.
that? That's when I was working
Yes,
at Malcolm's.
I remember that.
Yeah.
I remember that
And
now.
so finally, after the 3rd time, she decided that she, could have probably paid for
Right.
her hair color for 5 years.
Right.
But anyway, so
Right.
yeah,
So
same
yeah.
kind of
So
thing.
so we just wanted to point that out, and we do every once in a while, just because because it comes up, and again, we know how it is. Like I said, we know how it is. You're at certain points in your life. I mean, that's what you can afford. But but remember, don't expect don't expect to get the same results in my Volkswagen as you would in my Lamborghini.
Don't
Right?
expect Ferrari hair when you're
Right. When you
using
got a VW budget.
Volkswagen products.
Right. But again, not ripping on anybody, but just want you guys.
And maybe they'll
just
get
want you
lucky,
guys to know.
but
Maybe. So
if there's a struggle or a problem, then
yeah.
there's a possible solution.
Yo, I'll solve it, like Vanilla Ice, right?
Sure.
Anyway, okay.